Compliance hearings for specialized driving privileges. First and foremost, do I need an attorney for a compliance hearing? The answer is, it depends. If you're granted specialized driving privileges, it's most likely that the court's going to set your case for what's called a compliance hearing. And at that hearing, the judge is going to want to make sure, number one, do you still have the proper insurance? Which in Indiana, you have to have SR22 and $100,000, $300,000 liability insurance. Number two, judge is going to ask, have you had any interaction with law enforcement while driving? Speeding tickets, any type of traffic infractions, DUIs, anything like that. Number three, the judge is going to ask you, are there any changes to your specialized driving privilege order? Hopefully, the answer to that question is no. But if there are, the judge will talk to you about what those changes are. If it's something real quick, hey judge, I moved. So instead of 123 Cherry Lane, I live at 456 Apple Court. A lot of times, the judge will be able to make that change pretty quickly just on their little computer in front of them, and you should be fine. And another thing the judge is going to ask is to make sure that there's not been any major changes in your life that would require a further hearing or any other type of modification. So judge pretty much just wants to figure out are you still being a good citizen while you're driving? If the answer to those questions are yes, do you need an attorney to go to compliance hearings? Absolutely not. If it's just simple, hey, this is what it is, it's basically a check-in. Now, do you need an attorney? In some instances, absolutely. When would somebody need an attorney during a compliance hearing? Well, that's pretty simple. If there's major changes to your specialized driving privilege order, I moved, I got a new job, I want to drive more places, I need to drive during different hours. Hey, when I was granted specialized driving privileges originally, the judge required an ignition interlock device. It's been some time, I would like to get off of that. Those are all reasons to hire an attorney. And the reason for that is an attorney is going to be able to effectively argue to the judge as to why these changes are warranted. Because if someone's granted specialized driving privileges in the first place, and there's continued compliance hearings, that generally means there's a license suspension of 5 up to 10 years. The judge is going to want to make sure that you are obeying the traffic laws. So if you're asking for these grandiose changes, hey, I want to drive 10 more places, 4 more hours during the day, and I'd like to get rid of ignition interlock. Those are all massive changes. And the judge is going to want to know why you deserve that privilege or a little bit more opening of that specialized driving privilege order. So if you have many changes to your driving habits, or you need something to the effect of these massive changes, then yes, I think you absolutely need to have an attorney on your side to effectively argue this. Because worst case scenario, you go in, judge says no, then you go hire an attorney, and now you're months down the road before you can make these arguments again to the judge. But if you're just going for your yearly check-in with the judge, hey, my address is the same, I haven't had any tickets, haven't had any new DUIs, no interaction with law enforcement, everything's been great, judge, I still have my insurance, you probably don't need to hire an attorney for that. In fact, it could actually delay how much longer you're sitting in court, depending on if the attorney's bouncing around for hearings. So if you've been granted specialized driving privileges and you're set for a compliance hearing, ask yourself this. Number one, am I asking for any changes? The answer to that question is yes. Ask yourself this. What are the changes? Are they massive changes, or is it something as small as, hey, I moved? Hey, I'd like to be able to add 1 more hour in the morning to pick up my child from school. In those situations, you probably do not need an attorney. If you have any questions about specialized driving privileges, you have an upcoming compliance hearing, or something to that effect, give us a call, 317-632-3642, and remember, always plead the fifth.